Oh, thank you very much, Derek. Thank you for that very nice introduction and for the invitation to join you today. We were talking in the back room, and he said he started out his comments with Happy New Year, and I think that says it very well. 2019 was a tough year, and we're ready to turn the page and start a new chapter, and really, I think, take advantages of what I see are some opportunities ahead of us. So it's been quite a week for me, actually. On Tuesday, I had the opportunity to deliver my third condition of the state address to the General Assembly. And then yesterday, I had the amazing opportunity to join President Trump in the East Room of the White House as he and the Vice Premier of China signed the historic Phase 1 trade agreement between our two countries. So this new agreement with China is just the beginning, but it's a big step in really beginning to rebalance this vital trade partnership, and it is excellent news for Iowans and for American agriculture. The agricultural purchases China has agreed to are nearly double than what they bought at the highest point before the trade war began, with increased purchases, as you know, in soybeans, corn, pork, DDGs, as well as addressing technology transfer and IP issues, financial issues, but all of that really puts our farmers and producers in a good place to significantly benefit from this agreement. China is also a market that holds enormous opportunities for biofuels, as you all know. And even with China right now hitting the pause button on its plans to implement a national 10% ethanol mandate, China's is expected to increase its ethanol imports under the Phase 1 trade agreement. So again, I think a lot of opportunity for us. Rebalancing and redefining our trading relationship with China, as the Trump administration is doing, is good for our entire economy. So in addition to China, we've also secured the first phase trade agreement with Japan, and I'm sure, as you all know, USMCA, which really puts us on new footing in providing free, fair, and reciprocal trade with our top 3 and 4 export markets. And it was great news that the Senate overwhelmingly passed USMCA just a few short hours ago with an 89-10 vote. And many of you in this room have worked tirelessly encouraging not only Congress but the U.S. Senate to get that passed and implemented. So thank you for all of your work on that successful vote today. All of this is good news for America's biofuels industry, and it's up to us, I believe, to seize the opportunities that arise in these vital markets in the years ahead. So Tuesday, in my condition of the state, I outlined a number of things that we can do, not just to start the new decade, but to prepare for the next 20, 30 years and beyond. One of the things I talked about was the Invest in Iowa Act, and through that, I proposed bringing meaningful change to Iowans, and we could start that in the very first year of the act. But more importantly, I believe it's a forward-looking bill, and it will continue to make a difference, not only for today, but for generations to come. First of all, it will cut income taxes and continue to modernize our state tax structure, building on the 2018 income tax bill that was passed. It will make historic investments in water quality and conservation, which I know is important to this industry, and it will fully fund our mental health system to ensure that Iowans have the services they need while also relieving pressure on property taxpayers. And it's investing in improving the quality of life for all Iowans so that we can continue to retain and recruit the next generation of Iowans. And as I said in the condition of the state, and I believe this with all of my heart, that opportunity lives here. And there is probably no industry that better reflects that than the biofuels industry. A number of visionary leaders saw the potential that ethanol and biodiesel had for American energy independence and air quality. And they understood the opportunity that presented for our Iowa farmers and our rural communities. Several decades later, Iowa is the largest producer of both ethanol and biodiesel in the world. And these are statistics you know, but I don't think we should ever miss an opportunity to tout how important this industry is to our state. Biofuels employ over 48,000 Iowans and account for $5 billion, or 3% of our GDP. More than 50 Iowa communities have ethanol or biodiesel refineries that are central to their economies and put food on the table for workers in all four corners of our state. All of that because of Iowans, like all of you, saw and seized an opportunity. So I want to thank you for all the work that you do day in and day out to promote and advocate for Iowa's renewable fuel industry. It truly makes our state stronger and better. And I'd like to thank our IRFA for being the tip of the spear in what has unfortunately become a permanent and ongoing fight with bureaucrats in Washington, D.C. and big oil. To protect the gains that we've made over the years to expand the use of ethanol as well as biodiesel. The value of biofuels to this country has been proven time and time again, from reduced dependence on foreign oil and lower prices at the pump, to reduced emissions, good quality jobs, and economic growth throughout rural America. There is no state that benefits more from biofuels than Iowa, which is exactly why we'll continue to lead the charge in defending the RFS and holding the EPA to the terms of the deal negotiated with President Trump back in September. With over thank you, we're not gonna stop. With over 800 supporters signing the IRFA comments on the RFS rule, I wanna thank again everyone for speaking up. While the outcome was disappointing, we're not done fighting. There will be a lot of work in the coming months to hold the EPA's feet to the fire to ensure that they don't continue to use the SRE and other technicalities to circumvent what we know is the requirement of the law and the statute, and that's 15 billion gallons mean 15 billion gallons. It isn't a game to me or you or the Iowa farmers in rural communities that it impacts. And we know that it does impact real people in places like Merrill and Crawfordsville, Emmitsburg, and Sioux Center, where biofuels facilities have been shuttered, who live with the decisions that are being made in Washington, D.C. So, you outlined some of the things that I've worked on, but I'm here to tell you I am so proud to be a part of a coalition of members, to be part of a coalition with all of you that are working tirelessly to protect a robust RFS, support national industry-wide tax credits, and hold this administration, and most importantly, EPA, accountable. These efforts have provided a number of wins recently. So, we've had our challenges and things haven't gone very good in some of the areas, but we've also had some wins, and that is the approval of year-round E15, the most recent 5-year extension of the biodiesel tax credit. And I want to say a heartfelt thank you to Senator Grassley and Senator Ernst, who they were negotiating right up until the last minute. And if they hadn't been, I'm not sure we would have got the outcome that we received. It provides more certainty to producers and investors, as you all know, as we work to expand this relatively young industry. We also need to look for opportunities at the state level to drive domestic demand, like continuing to uphold the RFIP program and provide producer and blender tax credits. Because when given the choice at the pump, I know Iowans will choose the clean-burning, homegrown option every time. So part of in my conditions of the state and the budget that I proposed this week, it includes an additional $2 million increase in the Renewable Fuel Infrastructure Program funding. Yay! So that'll bring the total investment to $5 million and delivers our renewable fuels to their rightful place at the pump. I've also called for modernizing the E15 promotion tax credit to support the year-round sale of E15. And as you know, last month I was very honored to sign my 5th executive order at the Iowa Farm Bureau annual meeting requiring all diesel vehicles purchased by the state to support the use of B20 biodiesel. And I, It's important message to me. It's important to me to send a message that biodiesel works in Iowa, just as it can for the rest of the country. And by signing the executive order, it's my hope that it will inspire other governors to consider. And you'll be happy to know I was with Governor Noem yesterday, so she also was participating in the Phase 1 trade deal signing with China. And so as we sat there, I was telling her about the executive order that I just signed. I said, I'd love to get that to you, and hopefully that's something that you can implement. And I've already talked to Governor Ricketts as well. So we're looking at this from a regional perspective, and we look forward to building that out and continuing to be leaders. And so she was very interested in it. So I'm getting the language to her, and hopefully she, it's kind of a mixed blessing. I want to be competitive and stay out there, but I think we're stronger as a region. So she's going to take a look at it, and hopefully she'll be doing that soon as well. So, and then I understand counties are looking at too. So this is exactly the type of impact that we're hoping for. So I remain optimistic about Iowa's future in the global biofuels market because of the persistence, grit, and vision of the people in this room. Small towns all over Iowa are enriched by their local biofuels plants. These rural communities are the heart and soul of who we are as a state and as a people. So as we embark on the 2020 legislative session, we're going to build on the momentum that we've spurred through the Governor's Empower Rural Iowa initiative, in addition to making sure that our rural communities are vibrant and growing and connecting and investing. We like to say it's more than just words on a piece of paper. It's action that we're taking, and it's something we're going to continue to do. So especially when it comes to high-speed internet across our state, this is no longer a luxury. It's an expectation that everyone should have, no matter where they live. It's good for families, businesses, and schools. It really connects small-town Iowa to the world of possibilities. We're also going to continue to build on our Future Ready Iowa, which is our landmark workforce initiative. And it's about upskilling Iowans and promoting innovation by employers and communities in meeting their workforce needs, whether it's a local hospital or a small manufacturer or an ethanol or biodiesel plant. We need to make sure that we're preparing Iowans for the high-demand jobs that so many employers are struggling to fill. So opportunity lives here, and it's time that we show the world what we have to offer. Safe neighborhoods with good schools, the chance to spend more time with our families than we do in traffic, the chance every day to watch sunrises and sunsets in this beautiful state. It's just the right place to balance making a living and having a life. And the very best thing that we have to offer is our people. We're adaptive, we're resilient, and we're pretty strong-willed. I think they're getting a pretty good sense of that here. But these are all qualities at the heart of the Iowa biofuels industry as well. And I think the folks trying to undermine what we're trying to do here have seen a little more of that strong-willed personality than they wanted to in recent months. So again, thank you for the privilege to stand alongside of you. Thank you for the incredible honor to serve you as the governor of this great state. It's something that I take very seriously, and I'm just very blessed to have that opportunity. So thanks for all you do, and I look forward to continue being a tireless advocate on your behalf. Have a great meeting. Thank you.